Everyone. As you can see, the weather has warmed up. I have my little heater on 60 degrees on the lowest heating, and it's perfectly wonderful, nice and comfortable in here. I've got Gus and Hank in here with me, plus Junie right here. So, perfect time to do this on a lazy Sunday. We are in, and I don't really have anything much to share. Well, I would, but mm, coming from a country where I wasn't confronted with racism per se. Growing up, and again, maybe it was because I said my nose was always in a book, and maybe I wasn't paying attention. I I remember that in my classroom there were well, I don't know, we were all okay. I guess we were all Swiss, and I didn't grow up having to or was confronted with or was told or whatever that oh, these are from that continent and those are from that continent, and that's why they don't look like me, or that just never came up. That was never in all my life growing up as a child. That never was a topic. It never was. Was rich and poor a topic? Yeah. Was who gets to have an education, who does not? Yeah. You know, was crime? Yeah. But as far as race, no, that just never came up. That just wasn't something in my repertoire growing up. When I came to this country and found in the way that people were thinking about things, all the different races about other races. I'd say, what are you people nuts? You do realize that most of the problems that are happening here in this country isn't because of one race against the other or this or that. It's usually happened right within the people first. Yes? On what's acceptable. Oh, because you're a certain race? As I said, it's a weird one. And I think that, again, just as here in the Psalms, people just went with whatever was the most acceptable to them, so that then they can go on ahead with whatever behavior that they decided that they were comfortable with, or what felt entitled to have. That's it. That goes in for everyone. So I would say that in a way that I grew up, everybody had to look at their own self, their own families, and then on how they worked in society together and in the nation, and how that looked out in the world. And you couldn't use the race card, for example, right? Yes. And what if? Okay, so let's separate everybody out. So you feel this way, you feel that way, and there it is. I said this before. I said for the first time, and about a week ago, I saw the new Little Mermaid movie that everybody was, oh, well, that's why would that be? And I'm going, well, first of all, that Little Mermaid isn't black. She looks more white than black. Well, I was educated by someone who said, well, it doesn't matter. As soon as you have some kind of a trait, one little curl, which I have too, by the way. So I have curls, and my daughter here, oh my gosh, so she had, okay, just saying. Obviously she's a mixed race. She must have either a white mom or a white dad, right? She's so white skinned. She's so light skinned, right? Yes. Well, anyways, I'm going now. First of all, and I think that okay, I liked it. All right, so be it. I only saw one song that I thought the choreography, everything was just fabulous. I loved it. So again, so am I? So I no matter what, I've spent 40 years in this country now with all this jazz, and I'm still not jaded by. Okay, well, first of all, what are you all stupid out there or dumb? Who in this country, unless you come straight from Africa, out of a tribe where you can say like me, I'm 100% Swiss, okay, and you can say I'm 100% Black African, okay? You can't just say you're part of whatever race. You just can't say that. It doesn't make sense. That's stupid to me. I have to say it. Okay? So what is this all about? Really, when it comes down to it. Yes? So I shared that one time. There was this girl that was visiting at the farm. She had some problems, you could tell. She also had children. And we started talking. She says, I'm part this and that, There's like four different races that she carried within her DNA. I said, wow, that's amazing. She says, no, it's not. I said, yeah, it is. Look at you. Look at the difference that you could make out there by just being able to embrace all these different nationalities, all these different backgrounds, your ancestors, and on how helpful you could be to other people, on being so blessed with being what? A part of the whole world, of every continent, just about. I said, that's fabulous. She looked at me, she said, well, I never thought of it that way. I said, well, what about your children? And then we went into, okay. So, again, it's just, I don't understand why one would limit themselves because of stigmas out there that may have been true for some, not all of them, and are being carried into the next generation and the next generation as an excuse. I also shared the story of this woman in the 1920s where her father, her grandpa was a slave, came to this country as a slave, obviously was somehow freed at early on, and then became a successful something, and then had a son, and then that son had that daughter, and in the 20s, at 1920s, she got a piano. Wow. When was that? I was born in 1964. By 1974, I wanted to play the piano. Yeah, that was not going to happen. We were way too poor for a piano. Are you kidding me? In Switzerland, you come out of a poor family where your mom just makes enough money to put the food on the table and pay the bills to buy a piano. Oh, besides, where would we put it? We were living in such a small apartment, okay? Very clean apartment. And here's this lady, black, yes, and she gets to play the piano, and she's 10 years old in the 1920s. So you can, oh, and then she goes to, she can decide what she wants to do in college, either art or become a doctor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't have that choice either. Yeah, I could have gone, but then things didn't go right there because nobody wanted the poor schmuck in their college, right? Paying for a scholarship and all that. All right. So that's Switzerland. And here, the possibilities for people, oh, in the 1920s, for this girl was unbelievable. Yes, okay, her family did very well as well. Oh, why was that? Oh, because as soon as Grandpa was released from slavery, he did what? Oh, and then Dad did what? Oh, his son. And his daughter did what? Yes, were they wallowing in the misery of having been slaves? Oh, gosh, no, they took advantage of. Hey, we're here now. We're going to make something out of ourselves as well. Realize our dreams. She became a doctor. And the reason I saw that because a few years ago she was in her 90s and still had two practices that she went to, helping people out. Just saying. Okay? Yeah. So, I think that even here in the Psalms, why did I bring this up? The race card is often, okay, well, but they're, okay, whatever. It is. The race card's played here as well, don't you think? Also, I think that we shouldn't forget all the people that have put their lives on the line and did die, many from many different backgrounds, so that the equality for all people, what should have been to begin with and was yet stopped by profiteers, uh, that came to be in this country. Yes. Mm. And then if one's not happy on how things are going here, per se, yes, then then one should go and check out on their own continent or who they feel more connected to and see what's still going on there. Slavery isn't over with in this country when it comes to that. Labor slavery it is, but in other countries, on other continents, it's not over yet. Hmm? So we all still should be fighting against that, right? Rather than against each other and feel like, oh, you looked at me sideways because. No, I didn't. But okay. Uh, I'm watching a show right now. It's called This Is Us. It's actually quite good. And the young man finally meets his father, and they're black. And the confrontations, this and what they bring up about on how. Well, I tell you what, I don't know what it is about me, but when I walk into a store, they start to follow me like as if I'm going to be, as if I am a kleptomaniac or something. Okay? So you think it just happens to one race? No, it doesn't. If you don't walk into a store, I guess with the jewelry hanging around your neck and this and that, right? And you're just a simple person, you're automatically put in the category of they don't have enough money, they're going to steal in here. Right? Yes? I've had that happen to me plenty of times. So, just saying. Yes? Okay. Anywho. Oh, look. I'm as white as can be. Just saying. Ah, it's a weird thing that one has to bring that up. Yes? Is it happening out there? Says, yeah, I get that. But on how large of a scale is it actually happening? And how many people are not like that? Never were like that. Don't even get what the heck is that? Yes? Yeah. So we should stay fair, all of us, with our mindset when it comes to certain things. And not just throw everybody into a certain pool because one or two decide that that's what's needed. Yes? Okay. Teamwork makes the dream work. Done. All right, let's get going. Talked enough. 13 minutes already. Psalm 125, Song of Ascents. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved but abides forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forever. Are you one of God's people? Well, then there it is. Yes? Okay. Who does God surround with his presence? And aren't there on every continent and every race people that God can surround and be with? Aha. Well, then let's go with that. Right? Okay. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous reach out their hands to iniquity. Yes, don't get pulled into that kind of stuff. Do good, O Lord, to those who are good, and to those who are upright in their hearts. As for such as turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord shall lead them away with the workers of iniquity. Peace be upon Israel. Yes. And that is exactly why I make these videos as well. The topics aren't always easy, but they need to be addressed. To do what? To lead us away from some of the foundations that some people have laid to continue the anger, the resentment, the disappointments, the you guys, I went one time into a store and they asked me, said, "Where are you from? You have an odd accent." I said, "Well, I'm okay. I'm originally from Switzerland, but I live in Leslie County, southeastern Kentucky now." "Oh, yeah." And they looked at my feet. And people warned me in Leslie County. I said, "Watch, people will look at your feet to see if you're wearing shoes when you tell them you're from there." Good one, right? They did. They looked at my feet after I said that. Okay, was I offended? No, I thought it was funny. Who would be dumb enough in this day and age to look at somebody's feet to see if they got shoes on? Oh, okay, all right, all right. It could have been that I would have not, because I love walking barefoot. If I could, I would be walking barefoot all over out there in the summertime. So, Psalm 126, a song of ascents. So, hence, I wasn't offended or anything. I just thought it was really funny. I said, it's actually true. They do look at your feet when you tell them where you come from here in this state. uh, when the Lord brought back the captivity of Sion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. Then they said among the nations, "The Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are glad. Bring back our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south." Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. He who continually goes forth weeping, bearing seed for sowing, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. That goes well with it too. Let's leave it at that. Psalm 127. We're already at the end here almost. A song of ascents of Solomon. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. Unless the Lord guards the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he gives his beloved sleep. Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but shall speak with their enemies in the gate. Okay? And there it is. Well, I think I've talked enough here. Brought up some things some people might not like to hear, or are going, yeah, isn't it about time? I think that, considering I'm amazed on how well people actually get along with each other in this country. A melting pot of all these different people. I think it's wonderful. Yes. Yeah. Though I am Swiss, my parents were Swiss, a natural born Swiss. Okay. Um, my children, and mostly from my husband's side, they are uh, they are part Swiss. I know, is American actually a nationality per se? I'm just saying. Don't get offended now. They also are an eighth now. My husband was a quarter, so they're an eighth. Cree, Cherokee, Cree, uh, Indian, Native American. They have quite a bit of Native American blood in my husband's family, and Irish, Irish, and German as well from their grandmas, my husband's mom's side. Yes, okay. Oh, and then there's supposed to be, yes, also a African American woman, a Sizemore. Is her name Winnie? No. She was very light skinned, but you could tell, right? Yes, you got a little bit of African blood in you there, right? Black African blood, yes. Oh, interesting. South Africa is predominantly white, right? I don't know why. I should go read up on that. Probably because people settled there, right? I don't know. Don't know. Didn't read up on that. So interesting. So our family, our children, right? Yes, my children, now my grandchildren, they're all kind of mixed up. And you can tell nobody looks exactly like, right? And here's my youngest grandchild with these blue eyes and red hair. Yes? Oh, aren't the Scots kind of? Okay, I'm just saying. All right. Mm, the reason I brought this up is because in this show, This Is Us, there's this conflict of this white family having adopted a black boy as a baby. Yes? And I find it interesting and very sad on how it, in a way, it is portrayed. It's a good show, but again, the is this needed? Why? Why would a child feel this or that way? What, because of the color of their skin? Seriously? So, if that's something that we're still carrying, all of us, all around the world, with us, on the pigment, that the pigment of a skin determines anything, then we have a big problem. Yes? That's kind of how I look at it. Anybody that, okay, even in a show, says, oh, but that makes so much sense. No, it doesn't. It does not make sense. Big change has to happen there, too. Right? Yes? All right. If you know a little bit about history, and then the excuses or the revenge, the anger and the resentment doesn't stand anymore. It never has stood. We've got to understand that. Yes? And it's kind of the same when it comes to learning about God's heart. Mm. The relationship with God, we have to do that. There's nobody stands in our way. We think so, but then that just means that we're letting other people tell us what's supposed to be in here, rather than reach from our heart to our mind with greater understanding when it comes to the presence of God. Yes? All right, I will end with that. May Heavenly Parent bless, protect you, guide you, and embrace you with love, and I will talk to you all another time.